Hi everyone, it's Scott here from REMAX East Coast Elite Realty. We're outside the Harvey rural community today in the village of McAdam. We're back out here again. We're in a very special spot today. We're going to go in and learn a ton of stuff here. Here's a nice little sample of a product. So we're going to go and talk to Mike Perrin. He's the CEO in here. Come along. We're inside the office of the CEO here. I'm going to turn things over to him and let this gentleman introduce himself for us.
Hi, Scott. I'm Mike Perrin. I'm Chief Executive Officer of Lakeland Industries, and I've been here for just over 13 years now. I started back in May of 2012, and 6 months later, the former manager retired, so I was blessed and handed the reins over, and been here ever since.
So you're from McAdam?
Originally from St. Stephen, but life has brought me here to McAdam full circle. I actually live here now. I've been living here for about 5 years.
Cool. So tell us where we are geographically for those that don't know.
We're just outside of McAdam, between McAdam and Vanceboro, Maine. So if you go too far, you're going to United States, and if you blink and you miss us, but we're pretty prominent, and we're right by the swamp here, so you drive across the old swamp, then you know you went too far.
And I've gathered as I've come in here that cell service is sketchy here.
Yes, it is. We are one of the few places, I think, in the province of New Brunswick that probably has no cell service right here. So it's a blessing and a curse all in the same.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I got to say I was quite overwhelmed myself with just how expansive this place is, and like a lot of other places that we've interviewed, it's a learning experience for myself as well. So give us the gist of what this is and what you do for people that don't know anything about Lakeland Industries, such as myself.
Well, Lakeland Industries has been around since, well, there's kind of a discrepancy with that, but to my knowledge, it's been around since about 82. It was incorporated in 83. It started in the Warriors Den here in McAdam, with some like-minded individuals that felt there was a need for a place for adults with exceptionalities. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the latest terms. They keep changing the terms on us.
Sure.
But I mean, they're individuals first, of course. But it started in there, and they started doing various different ideas, and it expanded and evolved from there, and it came out here. And don't quote me on any dates. Actually, I'm not going to give you any, so that way I won't be.
Well, you're safe that way.
Yeah. So it came out here. There used to be an old ranger station, and it started out here, and that became the Lakeland Resource, and they had, I believe it was a little thrift store and a food bank. That's when the food bank started, I believe. And then through expansion again, they expanded to another building that was put up in, I think, the mid-'80s. And then it expanded again in the 90s. And since I've been here, we've expanded yet again. So, I mean, they've had multiple expansions here. Currently, right now, we have about 30 individuals with exceptionalities. We transport to and from each day. We have 2 vans on the road. We pick up as far as, well, that's the food bag van there.
Okay.
We actually deliver food to people that don't have transportation as well. But we have 2 vans on the road, 15 passenger and a 12 passenger, but we're hoping to get 15 passenger vans are hard to come by, so we're looking at expanding that back to a 15 passenger as well. So we pick up as far as poke yacht settlement and bring them in here, and then the other way we go as far as St. Stephen and bring people here. We transport them to and from work each day. The work day consists of about 9 to 3 each day, Monday through Thursday, and Friday is a free day where we just do social activities. So we're an employment training center for individuals. But that being said, we're not an employment only center. We also we do life skills and social skills as well. A lot of the individuals that come here, it's just like a big family, I guess. And we have fun, we work hard, and we play hard. So, yeah.
And it is a nonprofit organization.
Yes, it is, and we're run by. I have a board of directors that I have to answer to. I got 14 bosses, I like to say. They're amazing people. The skill set is that I have at a phone call away is amazing. We have the mayor, the former mayor. We have teachers, principals, you name it. We have a couple of board members from the Harvey area, which is key because a lot of our clientele or our employees, so to speak, I believe we have like 14 employees that come from the Harvey area.
Wow.
So Harvey plays a big role in what we do here, and with the services we provide here, we try to give back to the Harvey area just as much as we do the McAdam area as well. So it's definitely out in the woods kind of area and a business that we're trying to give back. We pay it forward as much as we can.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's when I first came in, you took me way down to the end. So if you were to just do a brief recap of some of the things that are going on here, let's just go back to where you started me at the far end and maybe work your way up through the building.
Sure.
Just recap what you showed me.
Sure. We have been blessed. The 13 years I've been here, we've expanded. We're constantly thinking outside the box, coming up with new ideas. The government, back a few years back, I won't ramble too much, Scott, here, but a few years back, we were faced with the challenge of an employment first model. At first, I wasn't crazy about it, and it kind of scared us. We thought that we were possibly going to run into some trouble about staying open. But collectively, with the resources we have, we started thinking outside the box. And what we have here is really unique. We have social enterprises. So we have a long-standing partnership with Marwood out of Tracyville. And I've been here 13 years, and they were brought on well before that. So they've been a long-standing partner with Lakeland. We built their bottom pallets for their high-end products that they ship to the States and ship in rail car and different stuff. So we've been building their pallets. They supply all the wood and the material and the nails, and we have to do the maintenance, keep the nail guns up and running, and we build the pallets, and we cut them to size. The employees do all the work. We have a couple of supervisors over there keeping an eye on things, but these guys know their job. If you've ever worked in production, it's pretty straightforward, and these guys know it. So there's two of them actually that have been there for over probably 40 years. We just have one individual that I have to mention. It was sad. He retired after 43 years here due to the government, the funding model, the way it works is they only fund between the ages of 19 and 65. But this is kind of a thing I'd like to bring out to light is I'd like to see the government look at these guys differently because they're employed by us now. We pay workers' comp rates, and we have 25 of them out of the 30 that are on payroll. And we, in turn, in doing so, he had to retire at the age of 65. And I'll tell you, most of us have that choice. So I'd like to see them have the choice to work as well till they want to retire. So we're working on that. He might come back semi-retired, we're hoping. So we do the pallet shop, and then we go on. We got the recycling center as well. We do cans and bottles, and we also just expanded the electronic side. We're just getting that up and running. There are certain aspects that we do and certain aspects that we don't do compared to other recycling centers, but we do the cans and bottles for sure. And the employees are trained up on how to do that and run the system. It's all computerized, and we have a supervisor or a job coach that's in there with them as well. So that's just as an ad need basis. They work in the pallet shop, and then when a customer comes in, they'll transfer over and pick up there and jump in and get that order counted up and get them away in a timely manner. Uh, yeah, so then we jump over to this building and we do a cooking program, I guess. So that's part of the life skills because we do social and life skills too here. So we do a cooking program. We cut rags for local garages in the area and sell those. So we try to minimize our waste. We try to be environmental friendly as much as possible, especially being in the recycling business. I think that's kind of something that we should be looking at. And we have the thrift store. Everybody knows our thrift store. We have people from St. Stephen, Harvey, someone called this morning from St. Andrews wanting to know the hours of our thrift store. So we're even though we're a hidden gem in the woods, so to speak, we get out there and we get recognized through word of mouth. And yeah, so we have the thrift store, and then we also have the McAdam Harvey Food Bank. We serve about 70 families each month, approximately, give or take. And like I said, we deliver food to them. We also we're the school hub for all 4 local schools, Harvey and McAdam. We deliver the breakfast program, and that's supposed to expand to a lunch program. We do that as well. Yeah, and we have an arts and crafts studio that we give people the opportunity to do an entrepreneurship program. We have an artist here that we allow her to sell her artwork in the store, and she gets 100% of the profits. And a volunteer comes in and does crocheting and quilting, and I don't know all the terms, rug hooking, I think it is. I don't know. She'd laugh at me right now. But yeah, and then we have a computer lab that we're actually getting up and running. We're going to start an online kind of, I can't remember the name that we picked out for it yet, but keep your eyes on social media. You'll see us advertising that hopefully soon. It's higher end products that come into the store that are unique or antique-ish, and we're going to start doing a weekly auction on there with so many items. Yeah, so that's kind of what we do in a nutshell here. Everything that goes out in the store is washed, priced, and it's all done by the employees with the help of job coaches. So we're pretty busy.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so much more than what I thought. So people can actually walk in off the street here, come in and shop, and come into the thrift store out there.
Yeah.
And likewise, people, I'm assuming you're always available and welcome to drop donations off here.
Sure, we sure are. Yep. And anytime that we're open, we try to keep it door business hours. And fortunately, we are truly blessed. We have a drop-off place in at the Harvey Hospital. So, like, there is quite a partnership between Harvey and McAdam. I know the sports teams. I didn't grow up with that rivalry between Harvey and McAdam because I'm a Spartan. I still bleed green, but don't shoot me for that, McAdam. But anyway, yeah, no. But we have quite a partnership here with the outlying communities, so it works really well together. There's a lot of invested interest. We have companies, or we have people from Harvey that are really invested in this place and support it quite heavily. So, yeah.
Well, maybe this video will make its way to some of the politicians maybe that could take a look at this, and sounds like you got a couple areas where you might be able to throw some ideas their way for future funding.
Yeah. I mean, the funding is good. We're about a 60-40 split right now, and that's just roughly. Don't quote me on that either. But yeah, we're about 40 to. We're trying to get up. Like, my goal is someday. I remember when I first started here, they asked me in my interview for the manager position. They asked me where I seen ourselves in 10 years, and I didn't quite reach that goal. But I'd like to say that I come pretty close. We I would like to be self-sustainable, and I'd like to broaden our horizons into something slightly different to tap into. Eventually, the long-term goal for me, where I see Lakeland heading in the future, is a place that we employ not just people with exceptionalities, but as you can see, we're already doing it in a way because I have 10 staff here, and we have 30 individuals that attend here, 25 of which are on payroll. So, I mean, we're upwards of 35 people employed, and for the McAdam Harvey area, that's quite a big chunk, really, for a business to be holding down that many people. And as we move forward, I'd like to see us evolved into like a transition place for possibly people that are uh, coming out of an addiction center or something, kind of a pay it forward kind of thing, that they could work with the individuals here and kind of step back into the community and give them a chance to prove themselves. That's kind of a vision of mine. That's not a known vision to everybody else, but I think that we, just like anything right now, you have to be thinking outside the box. You have to evolve, and you have to always be thinking of the next big thing. Because if you don't, you just become stagnant and irrelevant, really, so to speak. So, yeah.
You just answered my next question that I was going to ask you. You did it, which is awesome. I mean, you've got a vision. So, as maybe as a follow up to that question, I know we're outside of the village of Harvey, or the Harvey rural community, I guess, which is
Mm-hmm.
where the epicenter of this whole series started. But it's amazing how closely involved you are, I guess, or how community oriented this all is. So, how important is it to you? What's the important thing about McAdam as your hometown here? What do you see?
Well, I see we are small but mighty. That's what I always like to say when I'm speaking about McAdam. I'd like to think I don't know if it's called screeched in. I don't drink nowadays, but yeah. But if there was a way that I could become a McAdamite, I don't know if I ever technically will be considered a McAdamite by the locals, but I'd like to say that I became part of this community. I was welcomed in with open arms when I took over the manager position, and I've got my name out there. I try to get involved in community activities. We're doing different stuff through the church that I'm involved in and stuff. We're doing a youth program right now currently. So, uh, yeah, there's lots of this. This is a tight knit community. For small, they step up to the plate. Like there's been times that we've needed funding for transportation to raise money for a new van. We got a walkathon coming up here, June, the first June or Saturday in June, and we raise money. The crew goes out and gets sponsors and stuff, and we raise money for to keep safe transportation for these guys to go to and from work, and the community, and they step up every time. Anytime we've needed anything, other organizations in the community, whether it be the Lions Club or they step up, we work together, right? And that's not excluding the Lions Club in Harvey. They play an important role too as well in the food bank side of things. They support our food bank too. So like I mean, there's a lot of community organizations, and the numbers are dwindling a little bit in these organizations, and it's hard to keep the youth here in communities like this because there's not a lot of things to keep them here other than maybe the cheaper housing, which you've tapped into that market, maybe not necessarily in McAdam, but in Harvey, you keep the prices low for sales for people. So yeah, but I don't know. I love being part of this community. There are so many people that have impacted my life personally. There are people on the board that have almost been like a mentor to me, so to speak. And because the board really took a chance on me back 13 years ago. I had all the training to work with the individuals, but I didn't have no managerial. So they took a chance on me, I believe. And just recently, they put me through a university course through UMB, and I took my management development course, and that broadened my skill set a little bit more. And at the same time, I became a licensed minister too, so I keep myself busy. But this community, I'm passionate about it, And I'm passionate about the Harvey area as well because, like I said, we got 14 individuals that come from the Harvey area as well. So I feel pretty connected with them. And I do have some roots in both McAdam and Harvey that run pretty deep too. So, yeah.
That's awesome. This is just such an amazing story. What you've got going on here, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it works. And I mean, you've touched on so many things. Like it's not a. I think there's so many examples that could be set from this place. A good role model for other programs that could work in our province for things that you're doing. It's not like you're following through with everything. Like it's the involvement. It's not like a lot of other programs where people just get something thrown at them and then they walk away. I don't know. It's something that is really encouraging what you're doing here. There's definitely that sense of family and camaraderie when you walk through here. So, what would you? I mean, you've said most of it, but I mean, what would you like? What do you want people to know? The important message you got to put out there to people.
Well, I guess to advocate for the individuals that we're providing the service to. If it wasn't for the individuals that attend here, Lakeland wouldn't be here. And I try to say this without getting emotional. Everybody always laughs at me because I'm a pretty passionate guy when it comes to these guys. They're family, and we've walked through quite a bit of trials and tribulations together. Like both, went through stuff personally, and they walked me through that, and vice versa. So I think it's that bond that we have that I think that there's so much more that the individuals that we provide the service to, there's so much more that they're capable of. People take for granted of what possibly we're doing out here. We are so much more than what people probably have in their head. I know there's probably people even locally in the community that just assume things about Lakeland. I would invite anybody to come out. The door's always open here. I'll walk you around and I'll show you what these guys do. They're all heart. And when they do something, it doesn't matter if it's the simplest task or not. They do it with all the heart that they got. When I still do the van run too, so sometimes on the cold winter days, you go to pick them up and they're standing outside in the middle of a snowstorm to ready to come to work. And I mean, that's pretty special. Like most people and their 9 to 5 doing their job, they have to drag themselves out of bed. But even me, I believe it starts at the top because there has yet been a day that I've had to drag myself here. I'm excited for what the day is going to bring. There has been some trying days, don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, it's, I just feel truly blessed to be here and be part of this. And yeah, the sky's the limit with this place as far as I'm concerned. These guys are capable of so much more than what, don't put a cap on them, I guess.
So the one word that pops out to me about all this is inspirational, because that's what I've felt since I've been here, and I just see the passion with you. But forgive my ignorance to this, but I know you mentioned at first terms do change and things do change, but
yeah.
I've kind of had in the back of my mind thinking of Lakeland Industries as a people with disabilities that are employed here has basically been my nutshell version of it. But you're using the word, you've used it several times, exceptionalities.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what I see and hear from you and see around here is focusing on abilities and not disabilities.
Correct.
And
yeah.
the person, right?
Yes. Oh, 100%. That's why a lot of people will ask questions. Well, what disability do they have? Like, I mean, we have people here that have Down syndrome. We have people with physical limitations. Some people just it's mental. There could be different. There's all kinds of different varieties of that. I don't focus on any of the diagnosis or anything. That's for the doctors to do.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's important for treatment or whatever, depending on what it is. But for me personally, I focus on the ability and who the individual is. We're all different in our own way. I think that people get misconstrued with the quote unquote normal term. I don't know what normal is nowadays, and I would beg for someone to give me a pure definition of that. But the individuals here are amazing. They just, I just see them for who they are. And in turn, by doing so, you build that level of trust and that respect. And we try to teach the staff this as well. Like the staff, most of the staff here have had training. Some of them have had training since they've been hired on. But there's an important couple of qualities that are needed to really thrive in this industry, and it's empathy and compassion. You can take all the schooling you want, and if you don't have empathy or compassion or a deeper understanding for the individual, I think that's going to limit to what you can actually bring to the table. And I think these guys are the epitome of that. I don't know if that's the right term I want to use, but they're the pure example of that, because they show us each and every day of what they're capable of. They're empathetic. They can tell in an instance if I'm having a bad day or one of my staff's having a bad day. And that's why I think it's such a family atmosphere. And with that employment model, that a lot of the urban centers, they they outsource their individuals and have a job coach go out, and they're with them for about 8 weeks, and then they scale back. Whereas opposed to here, we have that on-site capability to tap in if they're having a bad day and encourage them. But these guys do all the jobs on their own. Sometimes we're almost getting in the way, I think. But there are days that they definitely need us for sure. So we don't focus too much on the disability. I call it ability, and they are definitely exceptional.
So I guess, yeah, like you said, the staff plays a very, very integral role in all that.
100%. Like currently, right now, I believe we have upwards of 10 staff here that from transporting them to and from, and job coaches on site, one-on-one positions. We wear many hats. Like I think I wear like 3 different hats myself. I drive the van each and every day. I'm considered a one-on-one support for some of them, and I do a lot of the counseling work. It puts me behind on some of my filing. I'm sorry to the board members, but I focus more on the individuals here. I'm usually involved in every aspect of it. So it's good. It keeps you humble, and it keeps you focused on what's important and why you're doing what you're doing here.
Well,
Yeah.
telling you, this is completely. I'm at a loss for words. I feel a lot better walking out of here. Not that I felt bad coming in here, I guess, but it's inspirational. I don't know what else to say other than it's inspirational. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm speaking on a good many people when I say thank you for your contribution. You highlighted a couple very important words in there: empathy and compassion, which I think something that's missing in society today for a lot of us. And this is a real eye-opener to come out here and see what you're doing. Totally inspirational. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and doing this, Mike. It's been wonderful, and I would encourage anybody, come on out here to Lakeland Industries, take a drive in McAdam, come see what's going on out here. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.